Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well and that you're enjoying some of the work that we've been looking at in your history lessons. I thought I'd do a little introductory video this week to the lesson. I'm going to start with a little quiz for you on some of the things we've studied during the course of Year 7. So you'll need a piece of paper and a pen. So press pause on the video and press play when you're ready for question 1. Good, hopefully you're ready now. So for question 1, could you please write down the name of the King of England who died at the Battle of Hastings? Press pause, press play when you're ready for question 2. So question 2, can you remember what the different symptoms were for the Black Death? That's quite a topical issue, isn't it, I suppose? So what were the different symptoms if you caught the Black Death? Write them down. Question 3, we studied King John. Had a good debate, was he a good king, bad king? One of the things he's most famous for is, of course, signing a document where he gave up some of his powers. He was forced to by the barons, wasn't he? So, what was the name of that document? I will give you a clue. It was 2 words, beginning with an M and a C. Question 4, we studied Henry VIII, and one of the most famous things he did was change England's religion from a Catholic country to a Protestant country. So, this question, question 4, if you were to go into a church and it was full of gold and it was full of stained glass windows and the priest was speaking in Latin, would that be a Catholic church or a Protestant church? Write your answer down. Question 5. We started looking at some famous women from history a couple of weeks ago. The first one had a brother who kept trying to fight her for the crown, for the throne. Her name was Matilda. Can you remember what Matilda's brother was called? And then finally, the famous female you looked at last week. She was the mother of King John. But what was her name? It was something of somewhere. Write it down, press pause and press play when you're ready for the answers. Right, I wonder how he did. So, questions and answers. Question 1, it was of course King Harold who died at the Battle of Hastings. Question 2, the symptoms of the Black Death were a fever and vomiting, buboes on the neck, armpit and groin, black blotches would appear all over the body, and finally the body would go into spasm. And the usual sign that the patient was about to die, was that the buboes would pop and release that really famous smelly thing. Remember the video where the guy went, "Whoa, someone sounds sminky!" All of that, yeah, so really bad. Question 3, King John, of course, was forced to sign the Magna Carta. Question 4, you would be going into a Catholic church if you saw lots of gold and stuff. Question 5, Matilda's brother was Stephen. And finally, the mother of King John you studied last week was Eleanor of Aquitaine. I wonder how you did. If you did well, brilliant. If you didn't, don't worry. It was a bit off the top. It doesn't really matter. Just nice, hopefully, for you to see me and wave hello. So, this week you're going to look at a third woman who did some quite amazing things. Her name is Joan of Arc, and she's a famous French hero actually. So the lesson today is all about that. So once this video finishes, just follow the different activities on Firefly. There's again a few little video clips and a few other things. She's a really cool individual. All right. I think it's quite important. You've probably been watching the news over recent weeks, and you've seen in the news a lot of things about Black Lives Matter and how important it is that we treat everybody with respect, regardless of their race, their skin colour, their gender, their sexuality, or anything like that. And there's been lots of stuff in there, particularly about how schools can make sure they're not just teaching about the same old white male history. That's partly why we brought this unit in of her story. It's to make sure that we're looking at not just male historical figures, but female ones too. And in Year 8, when you come in there, we do also do a whole inquiry looking at different groups, such as the issue of slavery, which has been very topical, and Britain's responsibility in that as well. So we are addressing that, and we think that her story bit is an important part too, that we're looking at the role that women have played in history as well. So that's kind of our rationale and how it fits in. Anyway, I'll let you get on. Do follow the Firefly things, look at the different tasks that there are, and remember at the end, take a photo of your work, or if you've done it in a a Keynote or whatever, or a Word document, then attach it to the Firefly task, send it to me so that I can have a look. And if you have any questions, of course, don't forget that you can email me or send a message on Firefly and I'll get back to you. Great. I'll try and do another video next week at the start of our next lesson. Otherwise, keep safe and enjoy your work. Cheers, guys.